gold medal top, who's for real and who's not in the NFL. And you look at a team, Seattle. Let's see what. They were up here, but whatever. They're it's really hard to upset the Los Angeles Rams. They're coming off one of their best stretches. I really don't see Seattle setting them. Their best bet is to the wild card, which is up for grabs. I don't think Seattle is up. If they make the playoff, they'll make it with them. Like the New Orleans Saints. That Saints team is one that I think has surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, me.
They're playing great defense, which is something they have not been able to do for the last 5 years.
Right.
But and even though he's been out the last 3 weeks, they've still been playing really good defense against some really good offenses.
Yeah.
But you look at a team in their same division like the Atlanta Falcons, and it's just like I don't know what Falcons team came to play this year because it's not that team that was in the Super Bowl last year.
Right.
The loss of has been really big. Seeing their offense lethargic. Julio's not getting the same type of
numbers.
Well, first of all, I thought Julio was hurt for a while, but I think it's been more the offensive style of Steve
play
Sarkisian.
Calling. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think Steve Sarkisian is really up for that job.
Should have never got it in the first place.
It's a different game.
The loss of Kyle Shanahan really hurt.
Yeah, Sarkisian should never had that job.
Yeah. Well,
So I think I'm gonna pick one contender and one pretender. And then I want you guys to kind of give your thoughts in here. But I think the biggest contender here, a team that I didn't think was a real threat, but in the division that they're in, it's awful. And so I think they are the Los Angeles Chargers are playing their best football right now, and they're in a division where it really wants to take it for grabs. 5-1. They're now 6-6. They've lost 5 games in a row. I don't know if they know what town they're in. They've been playing really bad football.
Right.
Their players are throwing flags in the stands. Alex Smith is playing bad after being an MVP candidate early in the season. They're not Hunt, who has been one of the better players in the NFL this season. So it's really confusing. So you have the Chargers with Keenan Allen playing out of his mind right now, showing us is a serious contender. And my one pretend, the Green Bay Packers. I think people like to talk about the Green Bay Packers because they've been able to tread water without Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
But it's really going to take a lot for them to make the playoffs. Even if they win this next game against the Browns this week, which they likely will, and then have Aaron back in 2 weeks, that's asking a lot of Aaron Rodgers to come back and try to play savior like he always does. And if there's one person that can do it, it is Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. But at the same time, you have some, even the Detroit Lions, who are also 6-6. That's a really good team. And I have to see one more time before the season's over. Yeah. So I don't think the Packers are going to be able to make the playoffs in the wild card spot because they have to jump Seattle. They still have to nudge out the Lions. And the Falcons are still there at 7-5. So
right.
I think the Packers are definitely a pretender this year.
Yeah, I agree.
do you want to start off or?
I was just because I think the NFC is so tight right now. It's even hard to see who is a pretender and contender at times because I feel like from week to week it's so different. Like the Saints and the Falcons are playing right now, like as we speak. The Panthers are still in the playoff race, but I don't think they're that good of a team. And like we were talking about the Vikings earlier, how they're riding Case Keenum, and I agree with Eric. I don't think that'll really ride into the playoffs though. So you have a lot of NFC teams that are kind of chasing the Eagles, and then the Eagles dropped a game last week, which I don't think is really a representation of their season. I feel like the Seahawks got a lot of calls and a lot of breaks last week. So I guess pretender-wise, I'd probably go Atlanta, Minnesota, and Carolina in the NFC. And the AFC, the only clear-cut contender I see right now is New England. I think they're the lock to go to the Super Bowl.
You think
because I think the NFC is really up for grabs. But the Steelers have a shot. I don't really believe in them.
I think the AFC is I mean the Steelers, they have a marginal shot, but I don't like their defense against Tom Brady.
Yeah, exactly.
And also the Patriots defense has been like top 10 now, so it's,
they got a lot of
this is my thing with the AFC. I think the loss of Ryan Shazier for the Steelers is huge.
That was big.
But they can put up 35 points a game
Also
when
true.
everything's clicking for them.
Also
they
true.
have so many weapons on offense. And I think they can do enough defensively to stay in games and then make every game a shootout.
Yeah.
Have to do to win. The Patriots' defense was so bad to start the season.
Right.
And have been so good for the last 6 weeks. It's really hard to see what's the real Patriots' defense. You know they're going to score points on offense. You know they're going to play good special teams. But it's just like the defense is such an enigma because they played so poor in the first 6 weeks of the season, and the last 7 weeks they've been a top 5 defense.
Right.
So it's just like what Patriots defense is going to show up when they play Baltimore, when they play the Steelers in the playoffs, when they play teams like the Eagles potentially in a Super Bowl. What team is going to show up?
well, I don't think
I know Brady is going to show up. I know. Not Julian Edelman. What's Danny Amendola and that wide receiver core with Brandon Cooks. I know Rex Burkhead and James White. All those guys are going to show up. But do I necessarily know Dante Hightower is going to show up? Do I know that whatever guy they have playing safety because Patrick Chung's hurt all the time? Who's going to show up? I don't know.
Yeah,
They're going to find a way to do it.
And the Chiefs really disappointed me too.
Yeah, but maybe the real pretender is the Patriots defense.
That could be true.
Well, for the Patriots defense, I think if they're not really an enigma. Historically, they've always started off pretty poor, and then towards the season, they've trended towards better. I mean, especially if the first half they weren't that good, and then the second half they're starting to ramp it up. I feel like that's pretty good evidence that they're gonna be better towards the playoffs.
It could be
because in the end, it's getting colder, and that's what the play is gonna be like. I think it's pretty much a lock that the Patriots are going to have a good defense. But in terms of the NFC, the pretenders and the contenders, I'm more leaning towards Niles. Like, you look at the NFC South, there's 3 teams in playoff contention. I feel like 2 of those are pretenders. And I feel like out of both of them, I feel like the Panthers are probably the pretenders. Really, I know the Vikings.
Yeah.
I know the Vikings are pretenders. I know the Jacksonville Jaguars are pretenders. I know the Tennessee Titans are pretenders. Mm-hmm. And how you know that is because their quarterbacks just won't get it done in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. But if you're looking for the contenders, who are the quarterbacks you trust in the NFC? I trust Russell Wilson. That's pretty much my biggest contender. I know Russell Wilson has won before and will do it again. I trust Drew Brees because he's been there and won it before. So to me, the Saints and the Seahawks, they're the true contenders in the NFC. They're the ones you should ride because in the end, if those quarterbacks are the ones you want to ride with in the end. Maybe Matt Ryan wants to get in that discussion. Notice how I didn't name him pretender or contender. I really don't know. You just show me after last season
we'll see after the game
who the true Matt Ryan is.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I think the AFC is it's pretty boring. I feel like the Patriots are gonna lock it up, but I feel like the NFC is wide open. I think it's really fun. So you guys feel like we wrap that up?
Yeah.
All right. Not.